Testing, 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 testing. Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Nigerian Nerd. On the mic, as usual, is Oche Charles Edache, known by many as the Nigerian Nerd and by some as Young Jollof. Today, we are going to talk about something that has been on my mind for a while, and it's that all of a sudden, nerds are cool. It's cool to be a nerd now. I remember when I couldn't tell girls I played video games. Like there was a time in my life as a young man, as a young child, between like the age of 7 all the way up till I was 19, till I got into secondary school. That was like what? When I was 12. All I did was play games. I didn't do house chores. I was the lazy last born. All I did was play games because games are awesome. If you ask me back then what I wanted to be in the future, I'll tell you I wanted to make video games for a living. I said I wanted to be a video game maker. But I couldn't tell girls about it. I didn't even tell some of my male friends about it because it wasn't cool. It was cooler to play football. It was cooler to play basketball. It was cooler to be cool. Now, let's even talk about our representation in popular media back in the day. Like, the nerd was always the scrawny kid, his shirt buttoned up uncomfortably, wearing thick coke depth glasses, and he just had poor social skills and was a reject. Standard everywhere. That's how we were represented. You can already see it in your head as I say it. But why do we compare it to now? It's 2022. In 2020, video games made $56 billion total. That includes mobile markets, cloud gaming, console gaming, PC gaming. 56 billion. Now get this, that was even more than movies and music combined in the same year. There are many reasons for this. One of them is the fact that COVID hit in 2019. COVID changed the game. 2020/2019, everything changed. Professional sports changed, movie release schedules. And mind you, the year before was hailed as a massive year for movies because that was when the Marvel movies, the Avengers movies were at their peak. So there was a lot of content for people back then. But COVID hits. Movies weren't getting released. People weren't going to the studio to make music as much. Concerts and music tours had to be cancelled, but video games remained because all you need is a TV or a mobile phone, and it grew. The year before, which was 2019, the movie industry made about $42.5 billion, and the music industry made I think 11.9, if my old man memory serves me correctly. So if you compare the amount of money made by movies and music in the year before, it still didn't add up to compare to what video games made the following year. Video games are big now. It's cool to be a gamer. I look at the people look at me when I tell them I'm a programmer. I build web applications for a living. All of a sudden, you're a rock star. People want to be your friends. Girls are interested in you. People want to know which languages you write in. And I'm just looking at everybody like, yo, when I was learning these languages, you guys used to diss me. Like, it wasn't cool to be me 15 years ago. But times have changed so drastically. Nerds are the new rock stars. I'm watching a documentary on the Rolling Stones, like their epic run from the 60s to the 90s. That's actually what I was doing before I decided to record this video. And they mirror a lot of the similarities that are going on with the game industry now. Gamers are cool, nerds are cool, programmers are hot. People like guys who just wear t-shirts and don't look like they have a 9-to-5 job anymore, which is what programmers look like. And where it doesn't help that programmers are generally people that like to read, so they're knowledgeable. They are people that add value to your life if they are your friends, generally, in my experience. So there are many reasons why, but I just think it's cool. I think it's cool. I like it. I like being part of the in crowd after being like an outcast for so long. It feels pretty nice. Now, why don't we talk about the drawbacks with all of this growth? We're humans, and a recurring theme in our lives is greed. Like, we just find ways to make simple, innocent, good, fun things bad through greed. Let's use the Activision Blizzard example. Activision is responsible for some of the biggest games ever made. World of Warcraft, Warcraft 1 to 3, StarCraft Brood Wars, Overwatch. They've done everything. There was a time where Blizzard was the rock star of the gaming community. They made video games mainstream in very many different ways. The first time I ever saw an MMO in mainstream media and news, it was on BBC. It was World of Warcraft, and I saw this when I was a child, like maybe 13 years old. So Activision Blizzard is big, but recently we found out there's been a lot of sexual abuse. There was a lot of sexual harassment. The men put a lot of the work on the females. The females were treated as second class citizens. There was a lot of corruption. The company is not a good company, and that hurts me to say because of the contributions they made in my life. But that's what happens when growth happens. That's what happens when you're now the cool kid. That's what happens when you are the big dog in the yard. Greed. As gamers, we need to be very aware of this because as your status and as your situation improves, I know in Abuja now, I know quite a few professional gamers. I even know people that stream on Twitch. It's important to be aware that life is a circle. Life is not a straight line, neither is it a graph that goes up and down. It's a circle. And you remain in the same circle until you pass the test of wherever you're in. Sorry, I'm in life mode now. And until you pass the test, you remain where you are. So as a nerd gamer, whoever it is, because you're like the equivalent of what like a Wall Street banker was like maybe 30 years ago. I'm just spitballing here, but like you're a big deal. Don't let it get to your head. Be humble. I mean, like, yeah, there's a place for pride as well. Like we all need rock stars. We all need people that push the envelope. We all need trailblazers. But for the most part, be humble and be humble to yourself more than anybody else. Don't like give in to society standards of what humility should be because I've discovered it means very many different things to very many different people. The video game industry is big, but it needs to change because if it continues like this, all we're going to get is a bad rap. I'm seeing a really negative trend that I'm not really pleased by. For instance, CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. I didn't like the way CD Projekt Red has a special place in my heart because of The Witcher 3. And just seeing how that went, how the media wrote them off, how the game's glitches made more news than the game's epic storyline and gameplay. Then all the throwbacks to they are getting complacent, they overwork their employees. There's this, there's that. I didn't like that, and I don't like that. That's the trend we're having. Activision Blizzard, same thing. PlayStation just bought Bungie, right? Bungie, I think. But yeah, it's growing, but we need better standards. We need to think of ourselves as human beings as opposed to means to an end, as opposed to assets that can be used to meet a project's deadline. We're all humans here. And yeah, I think I'm done ranting. Video games are huge. It blows my mind. I hope we figure all this out and we become like an example for the rest of the world and other industries to follow. And it feels great to be the one that is in stock now. It feels great to be the hot one. It feels great to be the one that girls want to talk to. It feels pretty amazing. And I hope that more of this love gets shared and overall we just treat ourselves like better people. Like I didn't like being put in the back when I was a nerd, and I hope nobody ever gets put in the back again. But this is life. I'm just like that's definitely not going to happen. We're going to find ways to enslave each other and torture each other and kill each other, but hopefully a few of us can still do good in the process. All right, as usual, this was Oche Young Jollof Edache, the Nigerian nerd. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm a struggling content creator. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to not be about this 9 to 5 life at some point in my life, and this is one of the things that I want to do. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys the next time inspiration hits. Be safe. Bye.